video, we're going to learn an exercise called the spine stretch forward. And it's, it says the spine stretch forward, so we might think it's a stretch for the spine. Well, really it's more of a stretch for the hamstrings and the inner thighs. And what we're working on with the spine is getting kind of balanced movement and also that idea of articulation. So being able to be so precise that we're just moving one vertebra at a time, which takes a lot of abdominal control, okay? So it's the whole body kind of integrated together. So let me show you what this looks like, and you're welcome to kind of join along with me. We're going to start out in a position with our legs out wide, kind of in a V shape like this. And for some people, this may feel really uncomfortable. If your hamstrings are tight, if you are just feeling like I just can't sit in this position without like kind of rocking back into a posterior pelvic tilt, then feel free, you can bend the knees just slightly, or sometimes if you have a seat on something that's a little bit elevated, so like if you roll up a yoga mat, for instance, and you sit on that can help a little bit as well, all right? So we want the legs to be wide. Feel free to, again, use the modifications that I just mentioned. And we also want to feel like our sits bones, okay, those, I kind of like to call them the sitting bones, are firmly pressed down into the floor. So for that, I'm just going to move some of this fleshy tissue away. I like to call that taking the cushions off the couch, because essentially what we're doing is trying to just get those sitting bones to really be firmly planted into the floor. Once we have this position, we want a nice tall spine. Okay, so lifting up through the crown of the head. Imagine kind of doing an imprint, but there's like a wall behind you. So you're not imprinting into the floor, you're imagining that you're just up against a wall and you're imprinting into the wall. You can even do it against a real wall if it's helpful when you're first starting. You can come right here and you can just kind of try to imprint your spine into the wall. So that's another way that you can do it. In fact, since I'm here, let's just do it from here. You're going to bring your arms forward, and then you're going to peel down off the wall or the imaginary wall, one vertebra at a time. So that's called articulation through the spine. So I'm going to start up here in the neck. I'm just going to bring my chin down and forward, and I'm going to feel one bone at a time coming off of the wall. And I really do want to feel every bone. Sometimes when you first start, you'll realize that there are spots in your spine where the bones don't want to move separately. That's very common. Okay, and once I've peeled down off the wall, I want to check and make sure that my spine is in a uniform C-shaped curve. What it should look like is this. Okay, can you see how there's like a lot of mobility in my upper back, but my lower back is kind of straight. That's not what we want here. We really want the whole spine to be in a uniform C-shaped curve. And we also here don't want to forget about our scoop, because that's what makes this Pilates in the first place. If we're scooping, what will not happen is we're not going to have the abs just kind of spilling forward, if that makes sense. So let me show you what it would look like kind of the wrong way. If I'm here, I'll move this arm out of the way so you can see a little bit better. But I'm not scooping, and you can see that my belly is just kind of being drawn down toward the floor, not really thinking about kind of pulling in or scooping anything. Now, instead, I'm going to scoop, so pelvic floor, transverse abdominis, external obliques, and now there's more of a concave shape here. Can you see that? More of a concave shape. And with that, you can kind of imagine that there's like a beach ball sitting right in front of you, and your belly's having to conform to the shape of that beach ball, so it really is concave. Now, when you're doing the spine stretch forward, you want continuous motion. So you want to come down, articulate down. Once you're here down at the bottom, okay, with the uniform curve and the beach ball, then you're going to articulate back up, one vertebra at a time, back up the wall, and then you'll come back down. You want to do that 3 times, nice and smooth and steady, and with articulation. Kind of think of it like a wave-like movement. If you even want to kind of imagine waves of the ocean, sometimes that's helpful to kind of imagine that you're coming down and then you're coming back up, and you kind of have this rhythmic flow, if that makes sense. So let's try it together. We're going to do 3 times down and 3 times up. We'll go slowly and deliberately, and hopefully you'll be able to feel each one of those vertebrae peeling off the wall. Or if you don't have a wall to sit right in front of like this, I want you to at least have that imagery in your mind. Okay, so starting with the legs wide, the hands on the floor in front of you, and the spine imprinted into the wall behind you. Make sure you've got your scoop right here from the get-go, so you're not having to think about it. Once you get to the bottom, it's already there. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, begin to peel down. So the chin comes down first, and you can feel some of those vertebrae peeling down from the neck and down through the thoracic spine and down through the lumbar spine, each one curving into that uniform C-shaped curve. Okay, once I'm here at the bottom, I'm going to check, make sure I still have my scoop, my beach ball. Inhale, prepare, and exhale, back up. And I really should have taken a pause at the bottom, so we'll try to avoid that next time. As I get up near the top, I'm going to inhale, prepare, and exhale, peel back down, one vertebra at a time, rounding into the C-shaped curve. Inhale here at the bottom, and continuous movement, peeling back up. Get here to the top, inhale, and exhale, we come right back down off the wall. Scooping here at the bottom, inhale as we get toward the bottom, and exhale, back up one more time. And we end in the same position where we started. All right? So again, that was called the spine stretch forward.